Now, the tariffs are already a reality for some local small businesses that get the majority of their goods from China or overseas. Libby Dowsett visited a couple of toy stores in Portland today. And Libby, one owner has already had vendors actually cancel their orders.
Yes, the owner right here at Mercy Milo on Northeast Broadway, she says she's had a handful of vendors cancel orders, saying they're instead shipping direct to consumer due to the higher prices, essentially cutting out retailers like this. The Rodriguez family named Mercy Milo after their daughter and the unique boutiques filled with treasures in Paris.
We carry toys from all over the world, heirloom toys, wooden toys, retro toys, anything you could possibly imagine.
And just like shops in Europe, the toys come from all around the world, a good quarter of them from China.
This is a brand called Shilling, and they're made in China. So I'm a bit worried about this brand that we love so much.
With a handful of vendors already cutting supplies, saying it's cheaper to cut out the retailer in the middle.
That means that we will definitely not have a lot of our brands that we love and cherish to carry in our store, unfortunately.
Caroline says U.S.-made toys are expensive, and most of her U.S. suppliers are now relying on overseas production. Toy industry analysts don't see that changing anytime soon.
And I would say with confidence, probably the manufacturing of $5 toys may not be the first manufacturing and capital investment that people in the U.S. would want to make. I would venture to say phones and electronics and chips might be the first things that people would invest capital in to create those manufacturing bases.
You can't walk into the stores and find these every day. So
Rogue Toys in Southeast Portland is taking another approach, selling vintage toys after getting notice from vendors prices are going up on new items.
we're a very small business, so we don't want to pay that off to our customer, and it's not something that we can afford those taxes, right?
Mike Harsona said he's phasing out the new stuff and struggling with items still in transport.
We have product on a container right now that's waiting to come in. We've already paid for that, so we're a little worried about what that's going to come down to as a consumer base. Is that toy going to be now $15 going to $30 or $25, or where do we eat, quote unquote, eat that cost, if that makes sense?
President Trump has said this is all good for the U.S. economy if people remain patient. The U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said Wednesday the administration has received numerous responses from countries looking to negotiate new trade deals.
We're looking at, possibly closing within a year or two if this continues. I just don't see a future, in retail or in this economy, unfortunately.
Collectors will continue to be there. There'll still be a market for that. It might be a smaller market, but we'll still be there. So.
And both shop owners agree that prices, once they go up, they're a little worried that they will never come back down. Back to you, Tim and Stephanie.
All right, Libby, thanks very much.